Now, I'm really excited to be able to share with you Chase's story. He's what we call one of our $1 million coaches. We're here in the mastermind in Thailand, and what Chase has gone through, and dude, you've been able to absolutely crush it in such a short amount of time, but I think so many coaches are going to resonate with what you were doing before. So the insights, what you're going to be able to learn from what this guy's has been able to do in just the past few months will literally revolutionize your business. Dude, you've inspired me. Like you're killing it. There's so much ahead with your future. Let's go back to the start. Let's go back to what was going on with your business before we started.
Before I went to you guys into the cartel, I was just I thought that to build my brand, I needed to do like a really fancy website and make that like, you know, the end all be all thing, because that's what I saw everyone else doing. It looked really nice, and I thought if I could, you know, learn how to do that, then everything would just somehow fall into place. So focused on that for like 3 or 4 months, and that's all I did, just that, and trying to run a gym at the same time. And even though it looked nice at the end, it didn't. I literally got nothing, nothing from it. So that, and then I've always been good at writing, so I started to focus on that more, but it ended up, I didn't have structure. So I just ended up just writing just like endless articles, didn't know where to put them, and I didn't know how to actually sell. Like one of the biggest things from the cartel was the sales calls. Like I would have never thought to do that, because I don't see myself as a salesperson, but the way that we do it isn't salesy. So it's like just having a conversation and like following the psychology of that person. So I think from me being someone who doesn't know how to sell, it made it really easy for me to leverage what I'm good at doing and be able to sell that to my clients and still provide value without spending a ton of time. Like, yes, I'm doing content, but it's like I'm able to scale that more because I'm only creating a few key pieces of content. And it's actually better and more structured and takes me less time. And then of course I don't really have to focus on the website either, just because the selling is done through communication and just consistency. It's hard work, but at the same time it's more effective work for my time than I was doing before.
No, it's really good that you say that, because before we actually hit record, we were talking about, you know, what you were trying to do before was you had a pretty website, took you ages to put together, and then you're trying to send people to a website and say, hey, buy my program, buy my shit, and nothing comes from it. When you're in that case, because I know there's a lot of coaches who are going to be in that exact same position, like how is that actually affecting you, do you know what I mean, throughout everything else that you're doing? Because just to give you some more context as well, Chase is running a gym, doing face-to-face coaching, and doing online coaching as well. So I know there's a lot of other coaches that are wanting to do all three, or at least the face-to-face and online.
I think when you're in that position and you're really strained on time, the online is really appealing. So for me, it felt worth it to put the time and energy into it, but to not have any like specific direction with it made it really difficult for me to like want to stick to it. Like before I came to the cartel and talked to Josh and all that stuff, I just felt really down on myself, because I'm like, I'm working so hard and I'm like not getting anything out of it. And I think definitely for a personal trainer or an entrepreneur or whoever, it's just like discouraging, and being an entrepreneur is lonely as it is. So when you feel like you're doing everything you can and you're not seeing any return on the investment, and then you also are trying to live a life outside of that, it makes things difficult and tight, because you're like, oh, I'm running a business, but you're not actually making money like a business.
Totally.
So it just, for me, it was just frustrating. And then the more I saw stuff from you guys, I started to understand that it's not always about how hard you're working. I mean, yes, obviously it takes a lot of hard work to make it happen, but you also have to be effective and lay the foundation and not just jump straight into trying to sell stuff that's not, really set up for them to have the best experience and get the best results possible, but two, for you to be able to leverage your time and scale long term. Like a lot of times, personal trainers, and at least me, like I didn't think outside of me just getting the next client.
Yes.
And I think with the cartel, like it's allowed me to go much bigger than that and think more about, okay, what do I want to do 10 years from now? You know, what is my life actually going to look like?
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, because I remember like when you first started, the simple game plan that we really need to lay out was we just need a really simple process, let's call it a funnel, do you know what I mean, to start signing people on. And what was so awesome was like even before we launched your online coaching program, you're like, dude, I'm getting clients on board now. Like you had the process already running, and now we're able to start doing the cool stuff, kind of like the automation and all the Facebook ads and all that kind of stuff to the back end. What were like the big aha moments for you? Because I think one of the cool things is being able to us together, do you know what I mean, here in Thailand, like we're able to actually step away from our businesses now to go work on ourselves, to then go back and do cooler stuff. What's kind of been the big things for you that you would want to then help other coaches see that they can do or need to build a smarter business around?
I think the biggest insight for me was just like understanding that you have to learn to leverage your time better and not focus so much on you being the business, but you running the business.
Nice.
Like for me, that was the biggest thing. Like I always wanted to be the person, like I'm physically there doing every single little thing, but like, I mean, I'm 24, but like 10 years from now, I don't want to be training people like 10 clients a day in person when I'm 70. So I think, again, just thinking outside the box and understanding that there's a difference between being an entrepreneur and owning a business rather than like building a legacy and building a business that allows you to have the freedom and money that you really want. Because I mean, it's not all about money, but it is at the same time. And like you said, just setting up the initial like simple processes up front and putting in the groundwork to lay the foundation for me was the key, just because it gave me the confidence that I could actually do it and like just feeling like I could provide value. And it wasn't that I sucked, it was just I needed to get better at delivering and attracting people that I wanted to work with. Because before, when I was just trying to sell whatever and building the website, like I was working with people that I was taking on any and every client that I could just because I needed money. And you know, once I started focusing on working with people I actually like to work with, it was more fulfilling. And I may not have been making whatever 10K right off the bat, but I felt a lot better because I was putting in the right kind of work to get the right kind of clients. And then like we talked about yesterday, I feel like having that positive energy and just a law of attraction from that and just feeling better makes things just kind of come your way.
Totally,
you know?
Totally. I know. I think that one of the coolest things is, and this is why I want more chasers in the cartel. Do you know what I mean? No, I'm really serious, because you are willing to work hard, you are working hard, you've got the work ethic. And that was the thing, like you came to us and you were like, I'm working really fucking hard right now, but I'm not seeing the results. So it was just kind of like putting a smarter model behind it. And that's what I want to get across to a lot of people. Like, this is hard work. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we're not trying to say like, hey, do you know what I mean? There's a couple of magical things and Shazam, you've got some cranking online business. Like, it's not that at all. Let's talk about like the bigger picture, because as you said, do you know what I mean? Like, money is important. It's the scorecard of business. It's how we play the game, but obviously there's more to it. You just got engaged, which is awesome, coming here, which is like fantastic. So I want to talk about like, what does the future hold for you? Like, what are you excited moving forward from being able to do this?
I think the coolest thing for me is whenever I joined, you guys were like just about to go on the retreat then, and like I was like, man, that would be so crazy if I was like actually able to afford it and be able to walk away from my business. So just being able to do that, and like I said,
look what you've been able to do in 3 months. Shit, it's crazy.
And I mean, just that, and then being able to come here and like obviously getting engaged and all that was amazing. But I think the whole experience in itself has just really made me realize there's so much more, that it's so much more than just coaching and personal training. It's doing what you love and giving back and having that freedom to just like live the life that you've always wanted. So for me, you know, the next step would just be expanding on that to scale. So like still being able to provide value and continuing to improve the value that I'm giving, but being able to step further away from my business and make it an actual business instead of just me coaching people. Because like I said, I feel like a lot of coaches, including myself, we get stuck in that, like, I have to do every single thing. Like, I have to do, like, it's hard work, but when you're doing it from an intellectual standpoint and you're not just doing like the repetitive stuff that you could really hand off to someone else to do and just focus on the stuff you're good at, I think that for me is what I want to do, like the Genius days. And then like we talked about before, having days or weeks or whatever where you're doing stuff that you love and enjoy, and letting other people take, you know, the smaller roles that, you know, you're good at but could be handed off to someone else, is really how an effective business works. Because when you look at, you know, bigger companies, they don't have one guy that's doing everything. They have one guy that's like, okay, I know what I need to do. This is how the business is going to run. But you lay the foundation for it to be an actual like long-term business. So that's what I want to build, just for like me and my family, just because I know that, you know, as I get older, there's going to be other things that I want to do, and I don't want to limit myself to just like 100%. I have to be there at 5 a.m. to coach this client forever. Like, that's so important. And that was the thing. Like, I'm sorry, you've gotten to that point so much earlier and quicker than what I was able to do. Do you know what I mean? So like, I'm really excited for us to be able to do like this again in like 1-2 years down the track and just see how far you've gone. It's only been a few months that we've been able to crank this. Like, it's been absolutely killer. So for me, I get jazzed out of it because I see you, you know, and then achieving everything, and I'm like, dude, I've got to pick my game up. Do you know what I mean? Like, it gets me wanting to work harder and smarter through it all as well. Okay, what would you need to hear to come onto the cartel? Like, what is it, if you heard someone else say, this is what's going on, what is it that you would need to hear before you came onto the cartel? I mean, I think before I came on, like we talked about before, I was a little bit skeptical just because I didn't know if it would be possible for a personal trainer to be able to build an actual business from that. But, you know, I think just hearing that if I'm willing to continue to put in the work and allow someone who's already done it to help me do it more effectively. Like, the biggest thing for me is like, I had done a lot by myself already, but being willing to learn from the best was the best decision that I've ever made. So I think just that, and just kind of taking a leap of faith, you know, I mean, with anything in business, you have to take a risk, but I don't think there's anything to lose just because we're doing stuff that's proven to work and strategies that, like, you know, I've seen so many coaches in the cartel use effectively. But I think, you know, just hearing that and seeing all the other guys just be able to crush it really inspired me. It's like, man, you know, to see a personal trainer be able to do that, and some of them who had come from scratch or less than I had already done, is like, you know, there's no reason that I can't do this if I'm willing to learn. I think a lot of people come into this thinking that, you know, here's your funnel, here's the sales page, and that's it. When in reality, it's like, you're still going to work just as hard, if not harder, but you're just going to have to do it smarter, I think. And letting someone teach you how to do it smarter is how, you know, businesses and CEOs and people who are able to build a legacy do it. I mean, everyone that, like, including you and everyone else, do masterminds and self-improvement. You just have to be willing to learn. So I think that was the big transition point for me.
That's awesome. No, that's really good, because I think it's also like, it's the power of us having to come together. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to surround yourself with like-minded people willing to not help you up as well, but I'm kind of here to poke holes in what's going on so that we can fix it, and not kind of be like, oh, it's all good, don't worry about it. It's like, no, let's actually fix the problem so that you can progress and get better and better as you go through. Yeah,
I agree. I think for me, like, because I work with a lot of other gym owners and IPV pros and stuff, and like, I see a lot of, like, the Instagram influencers. I think a lot of personal trainers get caught up in that too, just thinking that, oh, well, if I just become an IPV pro or do this, then I'm gonna like live the life that I want. And it might help, but at the same time, like, it's still not an actual business. Like, it's still just you. And if you're doing everything, like, I have friends that, okay, they make, you know, 100, 200K, but they're working they never have a day off, and they don't enjoy it. So it's like, that's not what I want to do. And I don't think that's what most coaches want to do. They may think that's what they want, but you know, when in reality, everyone wants freedom and happiness.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can get that until you learn from someone else who's already done it.
I think that's so important. That's why I wanted to put this guy in front of you, because when it comes to earning great money, but also creating a life of freedom, and especially in the world of gym owners, personal trainers, and people wanting to go online, if you want to do one of those or all of those, or do a combination of what's going on, this guy's crushing it. So I hope Chase has been able to give you a nice, swift kick up the backside and give you the motivation for you to be able to achieve what you want to be able to. Dude, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, I'll see you in the next episode.
Now, this is where I want to make sure that you get the most out of being here, and I want to hear from you. So if you've enjoyed this episode, click like, and make sure I can send you the new episodes each and every week. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Also, I really want to make sure that I'm giving you exactly what you need. So comment below. I want to know what you're going to take away from this episode. And the best conversations after every episode always happen in the Breaking Success Tribe. I'll pop a link below for you to join the free group so you get access to the guides, the live streams. I'm in there answering your questions personally each and every day. Plus you get all the episodes as well. So thank you so much for being here and joining us. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next episode.